Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm back with a new video today. So as I said in the Discord earlier, I wanted to do a live stream today, but unfortunately I can't. I don't know why. It says that I have to wait 24 hours. So anyways, I'll probably do it in the next couple of days. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. But I just want to make a quick video. So today was actually a pretty special day, because we haven't gotten an inside day in quite a while actually. And today, I mean yesterday's profile was obviously an inside day. As you can see, overlapping value, pretty prominent POC here. Essentially when you have an inside day, it's a pretty easy concept to grasp, I believe. So I'll just draw it for you guys. You essentially have three options. Okay, so let's say this is your main profile. Oh yeah, and also a question that many people have regarding inside days is that I mean, the actual answer to that question I think will be a bit easier for you guys to understand. But an inside day is only an inside day once it's actually done, like once the profile is closed. Because many days, obviously, in a lot of days you'll have maybe a couple of periods. Obviously, most days, unless we gap up, obviously, or gap down, you have a couple of periods, or maybe even like 70% of periods that trade inside of the day. But to have a full inside day, you gotta close within this major previous distribution. So obviously that's what we got, and you usually have three options with this. Either you open on either side, so I'll just do it on the downside because this is kind of what happened today. So let's say either you open, so let's say this is value area. Either you open, usually you gap down or within this kind of a lower quartile here, and then you just initiate down. Obviously it could happen from anywhere, but this is mostly where it will it will happen from. So essentially you will continue towards the downside. Ideally we want to gap or obviously open within a certain quartile, so out of value area, but kind of at the extreme of range. Then obviously this is this first setup that may happen. Then we have the second setup where most of the time we open within a value area, because that's what essentially gives us the highest probability of creating a rotational profile, and we'll just go like beyond the extreme. And as essentially daytime frame participants go short here, they're most likely gonna put their stops right above there. So here you have a lot of liquidity. So obviously, like the market efficiency paradigm will always seek for liquidity, right? So if you do not see quick acceleration above, beyond this low here, essentially what will happen is that they're most likely gonna liquidate, and we're gonna come back within range. And if we fail on one side of the inside day, the ultimate destination becomes the other side. So this is actually what happened today. We're gonna see it in a bit of a different way. Yeah, a bit of a different way, but just to get the concept. And also then there's kind of a third option, but this is kind of, I'd say, like a bit rarer in some way, as you'll see, because it essentially involves opening kind of anywhere, to be honest. But let's say we open within value area, and then we just go rotate like most of the periods, and in that case, most likely at some point during the day, unless we actually get an inside day instead of an inside day, which could happen. Obviously, anything could happen, but is pretty rare. At some point in the day, we could just like go break out or break down, and in that case, you could anticipate a breakout beyond if you have a kind of a defined range there. But yeah, this is a third option. It doesn't always happen, but it could happen. So just so you guys know. So today we're actually gonna focus on this on this second option here. But as you'll see, there's kind of a nuance to it. I didn't actually it wasn't actually kind of like textbook today, but I'll show you guys. So the kind of a funny thing is that I wasn't actually there when this happened. I was watching this from my phone during math class, because I wanted to see if there was a trade. Either way, like 5 minutes before, I just realized I couldn't trade on my phone, but I just wanted to see whether or not there would be a trade with the inside day. And the thing is, like, I was on a bad tick or something, because like it showed that we essentially kind of opened and immediately got down, but that's obviously, it's absolutely not what happened. So I really don't recommend you guys do that on off your phone, especially not off of like a 5-minute candlestick chart or whatever I was doing. Because if you take a look at the profile, it's a completely different story. I mean, obviously we kind of opened there within a kind of a lower quartile, but which in most cases could see us initiate towards the downside and start one time framing. However, if you take a look at this, oh, what did I do? Okay, hold on. If you take a look at this, a high here is 2 ticks away from the overnight halfback, so I'll just put the overnight on so you guys can see it. I'll just put the overnight on real quick. So if you just take a look there, okay, yeah, there you go. There you go. So this is your A high. It was like 2 ticks away, which makes it a weak high, since obviously it's a daytime frame reference. So most likely weaker hands sold off that reference. So yeah, that being said, obviously it completely changes the story. And the second factor is that B here was actually also weak high at the time, like at the time of the breakout, because essentially once it got to the low, its high was off halfback at that time, right? So which makes it kind of weak as well. Plus we had a quite significant amount of A period single prints. All of this here, which is about like 10 points, a lot of non-trend single prints. So at this point, if you're looking at the profile, also considering that if you take a look at it, the overnight it's kind of neutral, but towards the long side I would say. Why? Because POC is kind of above the settlement here. POC is kind of above the settlement, so I'd say it's I mean fairly long. I mean kind of neutral, but in any case we had a double weak high and non-trend singles, which makes the probability of this continuing to one time frame towards the downside very low. So this kind of brings me to the point I want to make today, is that I'm kind of looking to develop a model in which we could actually, based on a market profile obviously, in which we could actually develop a sort of a probability calculator. So let me kind of explain that to you guys. But first of all, I just wanted to mention is that, so the trade today is obviously not short, but it was most likely this setup right here. Despite the fact that we didn't actually open within value, we opened in the lower quartile, but we had a weak high in all of those weak references. And on top of that, taking a B, usually taking a breakout in B, I rarely do that. I don't think I've ever done that. If you want to see initiative, you gotta see it fast, and obviously it doesn't have to leave you with weak highs and all of that. So yeah, if you caught the long here, it was an absolutely excellent trade. If you caught that, unfortunately I had math, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so just as I was mentioning, the model I want to develop is that essentially what I've noticed with market profile is that so this is kind of a pretty valuable information. I don't know if I should say this on YouTube, but what I've noticed on market profile is that you'll usually always have your kind of analysis pre-market context, right? So let's just call it Y. Let's call it Y. This is kind of your pre-market context. Oh yeah, I just realized it's not in the frame, so I'll just write it here. So this is your Y, so this is your pre-market context. And what I've also noticed is that when you have, you at least need to have 3 confluences within the current profile in order for the trade to be high probability. So I'll just call that plus 3 plus X. Why do I say plus X? Because obviously 3 is the least I've noticed we need, and anything above 3 becomes a really high probability. So let's say you have let's just call it like a positive Y, right? Usually you most likely not take a trade if your basis pre-market analysis is not aligned with what you're doing, but just to have that there. But then obviously the higher this is, the higher the probability you'll have. So the higher this is, let's say this is high, well then the probability of the trade, so I'll just call it PX, whatever will be higher. So just notice this. So my next move is that at this point I really want to go back over my whole back test and see what is the. I should probably do the back test again, but I really want to see what is like the base probability of a y plus 3. So let's say x is 0, you don't have anything else besides your 3 confluences. What is the probability of that? So let's say, because also I noticed like if you have 4 is like a big difference. It doesn't seem like one, but having an extra confluence is really helpful. So yeah, I just wanna this is kind of my next move. I wanted to mention this in a video. We'll probably go over it in the mentorship. So so yeah, just stay tuned on the Discord. As I said, I'll probably I want to do a live stream or a voice chat. The problem with voice chat, essentially at the beginning I wanted to do a voice chat thing, but I'm not sure if a lot of people will actually tune in at that exact time. And miss essentially the call, right? So I think YouTube will be easier because I believe you can rewind the video. But as I said, I'm probably gonna go over it over the YXMile and the mentorship if you guys want to join. And as I said, we're probably gonna do some more back tests here. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video informative. What is actually going on right now? Well, as I said, oh wow, I just noticed. Okay, yeah. So as I said, once you actually take out one extreme of the inside day, the theoretical, not theoretical, most likely you're gonna get to the other extreme. Many people say this is valid for any type of profile, but it just, I wouldn't look at it like that, because let's say you want to do this on this profile, you're most likely not gonna do the entire range of a super large distribution such as this one or this one. Most likely that's not gonna happen, but just keeping that in mind. On inside days, it's there's higher odds of that happening. So so yeah, as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I couldn't do the live stream, but yeah, see you guys in the next video, and link for the Discord in the description. See you guys.